Have you ever wondered if there was a way to increase productivity, lower costs, streamline operations, reduce errors, and free up valuable time for employees to focus on more strategic tasks? That's a big wish list, isn't it? There are ways. So sit back and relax and get ready for some great strategies from Dean Mercado, the CEO of Online Marketing Muscle. Dean, I can't wait to hear what you have to share on strategies to make all this happen for businesses. And I think you're going to talk about automation.
Yes,
All right.
automation.
Tell us a little bit about what you're thinking here.
Sure. Automation, or known as business automation, small business automation. There's a lot of new terms being thrown around in the industry. And what I'm going to share with you here today are some of the newer terminology on how they're going to be referred to. There is, even though it's not a new class of business or work or way of doing things, they're going to be renamed in a way. So this way you're not caught off guard when you're hearing all this fancy stuff. What does that mean? So small business automation means business automation. Business process automation is very similar related. So what I have for you here today, I'm going to preface first by sharing what goes on in a business here when another task comes down the pipeline, right? So I want you to imagine yourself. Another task comes down the pipeline for your company, right? You're going to have a funnel that's going to help filter these tasks. The first level is eliminate, right? We want to eliminate. So first thing we want to do is any task that comes our way, can this be eliminated? Do I even need to do this at all, right? So we want to eliminate whatever we can. We really only want to do what's necessary, right? Second layer, if it passes the eliminate test, second layer is going to be automate. And that's why I wanted to talk about this today. You want to look at everything that comes down the pipe and say, can this be automated? Should this be automated, right? And then the third level, as we keep going down that filter, and things are getting narrower and narrower, there's less tasks coming through. Then we've got delegate. I really don't want to hire new people to do things if it's something I could have eliminated or automated, right? So delegate is that third level down. Now, here's the stickler. This is what happens. Guess who's sitting at the bottom of that funnel as things are coming down and you didn't eliminate it, you didn't automate it, and you didn't delegate it? Who gets stuck doing it? Right? You get stuck doing it, right? So as much as we can eliminate, automate, delegate, we want to, as business owners, to really make our business more effective, more efficient, more profitable. How about that for a big word? More profitable. So automation is what we call the big game changer for small business. It is the big leverage point that you have to play with to make your business more profitable than the next. It's always about being better, faster, cheaper, better, faster, cheaper. How do I do this better, faster, cheaper? Automation is that key. So as we look at business automation, we're going to break it down into 4 pillars or 4 types. And I'm going to first ramble them off to you. Some of them you'll be like, I know that. That sounds familiar. Yeah. I'm trying to tie it together for you so that you see the bigger picture here, right? So we start with the first pillar or the first type. That first type is what we call marketing automation. Marketing automation has been around for the last decade or so, right? Still, most people are not leveraging it in their business. Why? I have no idea, right? Now, you may be doing some things to as marketing automation that you don't even realize you're doing. So, for example, if you're scheduling social media posts, that's a form of automation. If you're scheduling email blasts, that's a form of automation, right? So marketing automation is all about those kinds of things. Some popular tools you may or may not have heard of would be things like Keep or HubSpot or Salesforce. These are very popular marketing automation tools, and there are hundreds and hundreds of more at this point in the game, right? I'm trying to stick with ones that you might know and maybe tease you a little bit with ones that you might want to go check out in the process. So we want to make sure that we're using that marketing automation as a means to generate leads for our business, right? It's a big lead generation tool. That's pillar one. Pillar two, sales automation. Hasn't been around as long, but almost as long as marketing automation. And there are lots of tools that are popular in those veins. The three I mentioned already all play in that arena as well. There are other ones out there like Pipedrive and so on and so forth. So there's a lot in the sales automation vein. Sales automation is about helping you automate tasks that would allow you to work your sales pipeline or your sales process, right? So the marketing automation gets the leads in. The sales automation allows us to move those leads along until they buy. So there's a lot we can do in sales automation. So at the end, I'll give you some examples of each ones of these and see if that, kind of teases the brain a little bit to give you an idea of what you could do in your business. So that third pillar, right? So we got marketing, sales. Now that third pillar has everything to do with your service delivery. So service automation, right? Fulfillment, you could call it. You may have heard it's called fulfillment. So service automation is that third pillar. And you're going to hear these phrases the way I'm saying them now a lot. This is what's going to be circulating. They will be referred to as marketing automation, sales automation, service automation. And then the final is operations automation, which I'll touch in a moment. But with service automation, this is about how you deliver what it is you just sold. So your service that you're providing, how are you delivering that? What parts of your service can be automated? Some of you are using, depending on whether you're residential cleaning, whether you're commercial cleaning or whatever, right? Your service business. There are lots of tools that are specific to your industry, right? Made Central might be one that some of you may have heard of that's being used very heavily in the residential cleaning space and many others. And then there are more that are not specific to your industry, but can easily be customized to your industry, like some of the ones I've mentioned already. Keep does a great job there. HubSpot does somewhat of a job there. But the intention is service automation. You're going to find things like customer satisfaction, surveys. This is where you want to automate pieces. You want to onboard your new client, right? That's all part of the service process, right? How do you onboard them properly? Can you automate some of that? And then we step into that last pillar, right? I want you to imagine you got three pillars going this way, vertically, and then horizontally across them all. Underneath them, above them, I don't care where you place it, is that fourth pillar, which is the operations automation. That's the glue. We sometimes refer to it as administrative automation. It's all those other things that you have to do in your business to keep it running. Everything from the legal stuff to the hiring stuff so you got all the HR stuff, you got all the insurance stuff, you've got technology or IT. It's all the other stuff that you don't get paid for necessarily, right? But they are critically important to making sure your sales are running, your marketing is running, your services are running to the way they're supposed to be. So again, marketing automation, sales automation, service automation, operations automation. Look for this in the conversation out there. Now, any questions on that, Jeff, before I move on to some examples for folks?
No, I think that's cool what you've shared. I guess one question would be, these all have to interact with each other.
Yes, that's correct. And that's why it's critical that you have them integrated. Meaning like if I pick a tool that I'm going to leverage in automation, right? And I'll use Keep as an example. Keep has the ability to do all four of these. So you could do all four of them in one tool. Does it do all of them great? No. There is not one tool on this planet that does every single type of automation perfectly, right? HubSpot does several of these great as well, right? So does Salesforce. Pipedrive is more specific to sales, right? Made Central, we can argue about, where that's going to fit mostly. I see it fitting mostly in the service side of it, right? So finding a tool or set of tools that integrate, So if you're using one tool, you don't have to worry about integrating. You could tie it in with a lot of things. And there are third-party applications like a tool called Zapier that'll help you tie almost any application to almost any application. So you could tie Google Workspace or Google Docs or Google Sheets right into HubSpot. Or you could tie, a document you created, an SOP you created in Google Docs. You could tie that in with Asana, which is a project management tool. And you could tie those in with Keep. I know that to be so because I do that in my business. My business uses those tools, and we tie a lot of different things together. So when you're looking at automation tools, you want to look at their possibility for integrating and playing in the sandbox, in other words, with other tools. If they don't behave well, you probably want to reconsider and choose a tool that will play a little bit better with other people or other tools in the sandbox. Mm-hmm. So some tools are way better than others, but Zapier is kind of a magic tool that if your tool doesn't happen to, maybe Zapier can help. Now, there are some tools out there that won't play with Zapier, though. So, and we could talk about specific situations with anybody if you want to, or what might be possible. But look for something that, if you could find that Swiss Army knife that has most of what you need in one, great, go for it. Mm-hmm. If you can't, then you're looking at a third-party app like Zapier. Make sure both other tools that you want to play together play with Zapier, and then use Zapier as the glue in the middle.
Makes sense.
Right? Yeah.
What automation is not new.
No.
It's been around. AI is not new, but it's newer, and it's the buzzword today.
Right.
Tell us what you've seen with AI working its way into today's topic.
Oh, it's in every one of these tools. Every one of these tools leverages AI now. So even if you don't realize you're using AI, you might be, right? So a lot of them, even when you go on social media, you can go on LinkedIn and you'll see I know I'm on the paid plan, I don't know what everybody else is on, but you can go in there and you can have it finish your post, finish writing your response to somebody. You click on a button, that's AI. That's AI. Many of these tools have AI built into it. So when you're having trouble writing your emails that you want to automate, it'll help you write your email. That's AI. So a lot of these tools are leveraging it already. And we're seeing some crazy tools start to pop out of the woodwork at this point in time, bringing AI and automation together. They play together. They will merge more and more together. Every automation tool out there is likely using it at this point, and will be using it a lot more every week that goes by. These companies are all adding new AI-based features into their tool because they know that's where the action is. So be up to speed on automation. Be up to speed on AI. You will be left behind. I hate to say it that way. If you're not on top of these things, if you don't have a strategy, talk to somebody who can help you develop your strategy. You don't need to go crazy with this stuff. Just know enough to stay amongst your competitors out there. You got to at least be competitive, because ultimately AI is going to drive our costs down. Automation is going to drive our costs down. If you're not using those, your cost is going to stay up. So when you're being undercut in your pricing because you can't seem to get any more leverage on your business, you're going to lose, right? So we already have challenges in your industry with race to the bottom, as I call it, where everybody's trying to undercut everybody else, and that nobody wins. But if you're leveraging AI and you're still able to put out there a quality product, real quality, a very responsive, things aren't falling through the cracks because you got automation making sure it does not. You have automation checking up on your team members to make sure that they're doing their job, that they're getting it done. They're being forced to follow the checklists that you put in place. And if they don't, they're being questioned by your automation, and management could be notified. So there's a lot you can do with that combination of automation and AI. But a lot of this, again, is built into automation. So how about I give you a little bit of a rundown of some of the types of automation, some things we automate regularly, in this industry. You know, lead magnets, whether it be a coupon that you want to give out, whether it be a special report, whether it be a checklist or a template you want to give to your audience, a lead magnet automation, hugely, hugely successful. It helps you gather contacts, gather leads, gets them into your CRM. So now you can market to them, right? So lead magnets, newsletter signups, phone intake. When a prospect calls on the phone, you want to have a form that you have right on your dashboard of your computer that you can double click that icon, the form comes up, and you could take all that information, goes right into your CRM, triggers all other kind of automation, like who needs to be notified. How about a thank you email gets sent out to that prospect, and so on and so forth. There's ways of offering networking. Let's say you go networking, you could do a networking follow-up, automated. You know, you automate the follow-up so that you could follow up with 20 people. You just plug in their information right into your CRM, boom, it gets sent out. So sales automation, your sales pipeline, big parts of that should all be automated. Looking at, we don't want to let everything have to be done and handled by your sales reps. We want to make sure that we can automate whatever we can automate so we could see the best reports that we can see. But one big sales one that I want to mention to you is what I call the fast cash campaign or the fast cash automation. Every business needs to have an automation. So when you need money fast and you need to reach out to people in your database to try and get them to buy something today, you need a fast cash automation that'll help you do that. So you preset those things up, right? Same as having things like your Black Friday deals, or if you do that, you want to have stuff like that ready to rock, right? Service automation, customer satisfaction surveys, requesting online reviews, right? Things like that should all be automated. Referrals, requesting referrals, automate that, right? And then on the operations automation, automate your billing process a bit so that if somebody's credit card is expired, your automation picks up on that and already reaches out to them and says, hey, we need you to update your credit card. Click here and please update it. Imagine if you didn't have to worry about that, if it was being done for you. Your hiring process, automating large parts of that, or your onboarding process when you do hire somebody. Imagine having that automated so that the same things are happening for everybody who gets brought on board, and checklists being put in place to make sure they're getting the right training. So these are just some examples of where you can get leverage on your business. And I could go on and on and on ad nauseum here with these. I've been doing this stuff in my business for the better part, well, I would say since 2010 was when I first bought my first automation software. And I have a master's degree in business process improvement, so I know a little bit about this topic. And I was waiting for the technology to catch up with the things we were learning back in college a long time ago. Back then, the only companies that could afford to do anything like this were your IBMs, right? And then your Microsofts. Now, this stuff is available to all of us, and it's not that expensive. You look at the cost of automating, it's less than hiring somebody. That's the way I say it. If you get a good automation tool, it's the cheapest, best employee you will ever hire, right? You're talking a couple of $100 a month versus thousands a month for an employee who probably wouldn't do it as well. Now, I'm not saying don't hire people. Hire people for things that really need humans. There's plenty of that, and more opportunity will open up for that. But for now, automation, it is key. And I hope that I stimulated some of you here today to think about it in your business. And if you don't have a strategy, reach out, reach out, or come to one of the events that I'm speaking at the with the ISSA. I'll be talking a lot about it at some of the upcoming events. So grab me if I can help you. Fantastic.